Buthelezi was in a Romeo which was driven by Jonathan. And he was inside at the back seat and pressing the seat against the knees of accused number 2. You remember that?
Yes, please. Yes.
Ring even that Juliana called. Is it an Alfa Romeo, if I remember?
Yes.
It was this car. But it was a car driven by Jonathan.
Yes, I think.
Buthelezi,
Yeah,
allegedly.
I think you said it was a Golf as well.
Yeah, fine. Even a Golf. Yeah, Golf. It was a Golf, yeah, the one they were pressing
Yes.
his knees against in the back seat. Which other evidence concerns the vehicles?
Yes. We just wanted to quickly refer as to whether they were fitted with AVLs.
Right?
Then he says, there were requests, my lord, for other vehicles, excluding this particular vehicle in question. There was a request for 4 other vehicles to be supplied with AVL reports, my lord, but these vehicles were not fitted with AVL. I can reference the registration numbers if it will please the court.
Yeah, just mention that.
Yes, then
they're on record.
Yes, then he
registration numbers.
says it's HP39KB.
KB.
Yes, GP
Yeah.
with police registration BVK358B.
Right.
That is the red Golf in question.
Right.
I think there is the registration number is given here on record. One digit is incorrect. I'll just establish now which one is incorrect. Then the second vehicle is FK31MMGP. Police registration BTR592B. The next vehicle BW01ZRGP with police registration BSR619B, and the last vehicle being DZ30BRGP, police registration BTS979B, my lord. Then we then ask him, are the makes of the vehicle available? Mr. Dupree, my lord, I do not have that make and models of those vehicles. That's...
But I want you to call him, okay? He must still come so that we get it from him also, the second time.
As a court, but I think Brigadier Gininda can also maybe be of,
Yeah, fine.
of assistance
If he can assist us, fine.
as far as that is concerned.
And which other vehicles were involved?
Well, from the Metropolis side, my lord, we just have to, we know of the Golf, we just have to establish as to which other vehicles, according to the evidence, were used.
So Mr. Singh is still a police officer, is that not so?
Yeah, he's in the service of Ekurhuleni Metro.
Ekurhuleni Metro, ne?
Yes, he has testified.
Yeah. No, but you see, all the vehicles which were used to transport these gentlemen, this court wants their status as to whether they have AVL. But you must bring the registration documents of all those vehicles. The registration, particularly those of the Metro squads. Remember when they went to the offices of Mrs. Kronje?
Yes.
That's it.
As a court cases.
As it is the court, Madam, can I just correct some few misconceptions which have been said here? Advocate Balo, you say is that Mr. Buthelezi from Ekurhuleni Metro and Sergeant Mohula were using the red Golf together. The two of them were using a red Golf. That is not correct, my lord. Remember, Sergeant Mukhula said, or actually both of them said, on account of the fact, Buthelezi was requested to come as a backup to back up Sergeant Mukhula. And then they came from their offices as a backup to come and assist Sergeant Mukhula. How could they then have used the same vehicle? It strikes me very strange.
Yeah, but the evidence is, the evidence I listened to
Yes,
is that there were 7 police persons, according to your client. 7. When he was arrested.
Yes.
At
Tembisa, yes.
next to the hostel. 7.
Yes.
I don't know, is it correct that 7 police
Yes,
cars?
indeed, my lord, and that he was taken to another location, municipality.
Yeah, we need the AVLs, even of those vehicles. All the vehicles which are involved in this case, we have to have the AVLs. So that
Thank
I'm
you,
not
my lord.
late or
Thank
doing
you.
whatever.
There's a court, please.
Thank you.
What other vehicles were there? The ones that went to Freedom Park in Rustenburg, you remember? Keninda, Brigadier, he was with Buthelezi and Mohola.
Yes.
Is that not so?
But that was the Fortuner and
Yeah, fine.
that evidence is on record.
So they were using a Fortuner, but Mohani was there also, remember?
Yes.
He used a BMW, which is white.
No, Mokhani was the driver of the Fortuner.
Oh, she drove the Fortuner.
Yes.
So there was only one vehicle that went there.
Yes, and
I'm
I
not
think
counting the one of
Yes.
the Brigadier.
yes, I think the BMW was the white BMW.
That went to
was there as
to
well.
Freedom Park. We need the AVL of that too, okay? And who was the driver, so that you must be able to get the registration numbers. Because I hear that police vehicles are requisitioned for particular exigencies, and when you requisition it, you write the name of the driver, the mileage, and you also the destination. Is that not so?
Indeed, my lord, but if I can perhaps, my lord, have an indulgence to assist. From our side, my lord, when we received this request, what I've subsequently then responded to recently was to provide, or rather to obtain the records of the Toyota Fortuner, again, for the second time. And when I say the record, I'm referring to the registration paper, the copy of the Toyota Fortuner, which indicates that the vehicle belongs to the police and that the vehicle is currently under the cold case unit. It also indicates, there's also a report that indicates when it was allocated to the cold case unit and where it comes from.
Right.
There is also a statement from the fleet manager that is accountable for that vehicle. That is now insofar as the Toyota Fortuner, and it places the said vehicle in the care of the cold case unit when accused number 2 in particular was arrested and transported, as well as accused number 1. So during that period, we were in possession of that vehicle, and that vehicle was indeed fitted with tracker, and the tracker record have also been obtained. So that's the first part.
But
that
they've been handed up to the courts, or
They have been handed up to the court, and the tracker, Mr. Dupree, came to testify about that Fortuner on the
Right,
previous
yeah,
occasion. He
fine.
covered the period. The only part that was requested extra, which was part of the disclosure that we made, is the date of the 6th, as rightfully so Advocate Baloyi is saying. But it was part of the disclosure because we applied for the whole month, not for just those specific days, my lord.
so that was handed over to the defense.
Indeed, my lord.
Even the affidavits that Brigadier Grinda is referring to, those were also handed to the defense.
All right.
Kade esho khona njalo inkosi yenkantolo ekuthizeni ke uma ngaba ingaze iqhamuke nesombululo malana nalo daba lolu kuukuthi ke bonke labantu laba kade behola noma kade bengaphansi bakade imoto zingaphansi kwabo noma kade kuyibo kade bekhipha ke imoto ukuthi babizwe futhi ngaphambi konkusi enkantolo bekhona ke mayelana nodaba lweimoto zonkana lezi kade abezesiphoyisa besebenzisa ngesikhathi boshwa ke abasolwa ke futhi nonkana ngesikhathi beniboshwa ngaso ke ukuthi zonke lezo moto lezo lezo-ke ama-registration number khona-ke futhi abe khona ngaphambi kwenkantolo futhi nabantu kade bekhipha-ke imoto ukuthi nababe khona-ke bathi ufakazi babo futhi nokuthi iziphi imoto ezinama-tracker nokuthi iziphi imoto ezinama-tracker-ke lapho-ke bese washo khona njalo ukuthi nale moto kade besibenzisile ngesikhathi kade beya lapho-ke lokozana e-Freedom Park Rustenburg nakuthi ukuthi nayo i-tracker yakhona-ke bayilethe ngaphambi kungosenkantolo-ke noma ufakazi be-tracker yakhona-ke bube khona-ke lapho-ke bathi umuntu osebenza malana nalo daba lolo-ke umnumzana-ke uDupree-ke loyo-ke uyasho futhi ufakazi ukuthi yena-ke lapho-ke uma ngaba ekhuluma ngodaba lwemoto ekuyitoyota Fortuna-ke lapho-ke kuwukuthi ufakazi bama-tracker-ke bemoto leyo kuwukuthi sele bukhona ngaphambi kungosenkantolo futhi wabuletha-ke futhi buhambisana-ke nama-affidavit.
Now, my lord, insofar as accused number 1, when he was arrested, Sergeant Mukhola was using the red Golf, and I think that is the first registration that Advocate Baloyi read from the evidence of Mr. Dupree, the registration that starts with HP. Now, upon the request that we should provide tracker records for the Fortuna, then when we're busy with that evidence, same was done for the red Golf.
The red Golf and
the
Fortuna.
response. Yes, and the response insofar as the red Golf was that it was not fitted with the tracker, and that is the evidence
But
that.
do you have it in black and white, sir?
We have it in black and white, my lord.
Did
It
you
wasn't.
supply it to the state?
Yes. They
Mr. Baloyi, did
responded.
you hand it over?
Yes. Well, Mr. Dupree testified.
I know he testified, but was it
Yes.
handed up?
Well,
Or he just testified about it?
yeah, he just
It wasn't
testified
handed
about
up?
it. No.
He must come with a copy of that. Okay.
Athi-ke malana nodaba ke le moto kade isetshenziswa-ke uSergeant Mukhola ngesikhathi kade kuboshwa-ke umsola wokuqala imoto-ke ekuyigolofu enombala-ke obomvu-ke loyo-ke eney'nombolo lezi ze-number plate noma mhlawumbe i-registration number yayo eqala ngo-HP 39 KBGP kuwukuthi imoto le kade yona-ke ingenayo-ke i-tracker yona-ke futhi athi ufakazi khona-ke incwadi le abayiletha-ke kade siyenza isiqiniseko noma kade iqinisekisa lokho-ke ukuthi imoto kade ingenayo-ke i-tracker-ke futhi ngosenkantolo yabuza ukuthi ngabe mhlawumbe le ncwadi bayiletha ngaphambi kungosenkantolo athi umshushisi cha bakaze bayilethe kepha wakhuluma nje ngayo.
Now, on the Golf, my lord, the same exercise was done. The fleet manager disposed an affidavit which contains the registration paper, the copy of the registration paper of the car, which shows that the car belongs to the South African police and is currently allocated to the cold case unit under my office. It also indicates that during the period when accused number 1 was arrested, that vehicle was utilized by my section, my lord.
Uyasho khona ukuthi kukhona-ke laba qasha khona-ke iy'moto mhlawumbe laba babanika khona-ke iy'moto ukuthi umuntu wakhona noma i-department lelo babiza ukuthi i-fleet management noma i-fleet department athi khona-ke ngesikhathi kade besenza ucwaningo noma ngesikhathi babaletha-ke ulwazi malana nodaba lwemoto kuyifushuna-ke lapho-ke nodaba lwemoto kade ku-red kwigolofu yemoto-ke nombala ubomvu kuwukuthi udaba lolo nalo futhi benza kanjalo-ke bese wabhala-ke ukuthi imoto nekade ingenayo-ke tracker kepha-ke imoto lekade isetshenziswa abezesiphoyisa ngesikhathi kade besesha icala leli futhi yona moto leyo yona moto kade isetshenzisiwe ngesikhathi kade kuboshwa-ke umsola wokuqala.
The affidavit, my lord, of the fleet manager was also handed to the defense, as well as extracts from the e-notice regarding the registration of the red Golf.
So it was just discovered. It wasn't handed up through evidence.
No. It was requested, the information was requested recently, and it was then given to the...
Yeah, I need a copy of that because... And tell me, in Rustenburg, you remember there was evidence that there were charges of dealing in drugs or whatever.
Yes.
That the court is what, Chabani or Pokeng?
It's Pukeng.
It's Mohani who was driving then. Eh?
Correct, my
Yes.
We need records of that trip. I need records of the trips. If a car has trip, even I'm going to also need even the motor vehicles which were taking all these accused persons to their various incarceration in jail. For instance, to Valeria, to Moda B. It's not Moda B. Yeah, Moda B. Remember, there was evidence about accused number 2, I think, being taken to Moda B after laying a complaint of
Yes.
being assaulted.
Yes, my lord.
We need the records of the driver. Who was the driver then?
Sergeant Mokula was mostly
Right,
leading
we
that
need a record of the
investigation.
date and the driver and the mileage.
Bese yasho khona njalo inkosi enkantolo ukuthi futhi kuzofuna ke ama-record wemoto athi isetshenzisiwe ngesikhathi athi besibemuka besiya lapha eRustenburg beyosiyashekana noma ngesikhathi kade kutholakala khona-ke mhlawumbe kade khona-ke indaba noma zokuthi-ke kade khona kudayiswa kwedakamizwa mhlawumbe khona umuntu otholakala enedakamizwa lapho-ke ukuthi wadinga-ke ama-tracker noma mhlawumbe-ke ucwaningo lwemoto lelanga lelo-ke futhi iy'moto zonkana lezi kade zigibeze abasolwa ngesikhathi babamikisa-ke kumajele futhi nabashayeli bezomoto lezo-ke futhi ngesikhathi la umswala wesibili akade akhala khona ke noshayiwe bese bamkhipha kwejele elithize bese bamnikisa kwejele elithize-ke athi nalo tracker record leyo uyayidinga-ke la ngaphambi kwenkantolo ukuthi ayithole ukuthi imoto kade ishayelwa ubani futhi kade ihamba amakhilomitha amangaki.
So the Rustenburg case was finalized, is that not so?
Yes, it was finalized, my lord, and I may add that the vehicle that was used by Sergeant Mohane is the same Toyota Fortuner which we've disclosed that Mr. Trupre came to testify about. The tracker record which covers that date when the vehicle went to booking, because that day when the vehicle went to Rustenburg, it's the same day which was relevant when the confession was taken in Morocco. Subsequent to Morocco, they went to Fosora's court, and then from court in the evening, that's when they went to booking. So it is the same Toyota Fortuner where the tracker record has been disclosed, and Mr. Dufresne, I think, came to deal with that evidence in a lot.
Athi-ke ufakazi imoto kade isetshenzisiwe lapho-ke imoto ekuyitoyota Fortuner kade isetshenziswa ngelanga lakade lapho-ke eRustenburg ebooking futhi athi iqala khona-ke baliqeda-ke lapho-ke futhi imoto iyaphinda yabuya yasetshenziswa ngalo lelo langa lelo-ke ngesikhathi umsolwa kade ehamba ekwenza kudaba lakho le-confession.
And we also need the records. Is it the 30th when accused number 2 went to court in Boksburg, when allegedly you, after arranging with the commissioner of oaths regarding the alleged confession.
Oh, the 19th, most of it.
Was it?
The 19th. The
Yeah.
19th of
Remember, there's evidence that he was fetched from Villaria.
June. Yes.
Is that not so, sir?
Yes, he was,
Villaria, and then they were accompanied by the escorts
yeah.
of Jonathan
the
and
metro-
Buthelezi.
yes.
We need a record of all those cars which went to Villaria and ended up being directed by the brigadier that they should first go to Morocco police station for the alleged
Confession.
confession. And thereafter they went to Boksburg court when that prosecutor refused to place the matter on the record, on the roll. Okay,
Yes.
we need a record of all that traveling also.
Yes, the Toyota Fortuner was used,
Yeah, fine.
driven
Now
by
it's-
Mokhani, and that evidence is already on record. We'll just try to get records of the other vehicles of
Yeah, but it was a squad of
Ekurhuleni.
SWAT vehicles.
Yes, but
Because Buthelezi says the person who went into the police station was Jonathan.
yes,
They loitered around in the park after directing the traffic. You remember that?
Yes.
The evidence Buthelezi gives.
yes, but the evidence is that from the police station,
Yeah.
it was only the Fortuner, the other vehicles joined along.
Yeah,
On-
fine,
on the
fine.
freeway.
You'll notarize the kilometers.
Yes.
To say from Morocco police station to Boksburg police station is 120 kilometers or whatever. Are you with me, sir?
Yes,
Because you've got records of the traveling of the motor vehicles concerned. Right? And you remember after Rustenburg, they went to Primrose when they had to go and drop somebody. Which vehicles were used?
the accused, when the accused was detained at Primrose, it
Primrose,
was
yeah.
again the Fortuner.
From Bukeng, ne?
Okay, yes.
Right? Which other traveling do I forget?
The 24th of June as well, when they went to Boksburg Magistrate Court for accused number 2, because we were told that on that day, the Toyota Fortuner was at the garage, and Brigadier Genida testifies that perhaps accused number 2 was taken by a Nissan hardbody that was driven by Mabena.
Yeah.
So we want the details of that listener body, and as well as the bevy of EMPD officers that accompanied accused number 2 to the magistrate.
Yeah, fine, yeah. Do you have it there?
But as far as you have it, I think the Nissan hardboard was involved in an accident and it's written off, subject to confirmation.
Where is, no, bring the documents. When it's written off, you must bring the documents to say it's written off.
Yes.
And if you have photos of the crash or the accident, as you would normally have, is that not so?
So, my lord, yes, that is correct, my lord.
Yeah.
We do have the photos, and I can indicate, my lord, that I did follow that up, and there was a statement from a general of crime intelligence which indeed confirmed that the vehicle was not fitted with tracker for covert reasons, and
Yeah, fine.
that statement was disclosed time back when we were dealing with
You
the
disclosed it
trial.
to the defense.
Yes, my lord.
And the photos, did you disclose
The
them?
photos, no, we didn't
You
disclose
must,
the
you
photos.
must do so, because maybe you're talking about a phantom vehicle.
Okay, my lord.
The other trip that I can think of
Yeah.
is the trip to Palm Beach on the 31st of May, when they went to the house of Mr. Lionel.
Oh, yeah,
the
the gentleman
traditional healer.
who the evidence is that they never went there. Police went there, not them.
Yes.
You remember that evidence?
Yes.
Yeah. It's two houses, even the house in Dobsonville.
Yes, where they started.
Yeah, they
before
started there.
Before they proceeded.
We need a record of that trip also. You remember the evidence about the trip to Dobsonville?
It's the trip of the 22nd of June, when accused number 2 was also escorted by Metro Police officers Mohani Mabena for the appearance in Travel Court.
Yeah, fine. So they traveled twice, ne?
My Lord, I haven't done addressing the court when I stood up on the point of correcting some misconceptions. Basically, this whole thing started when I stood up and made and wanted to inform the court about what is happening. Number one, the record of the Red Golf. It's true that we requested it, but we were informed that the Red Golf was not fitted with an AVL. That we accepted. We also requested the record of the Toyota Fortuner for the 6th of June. It was furnished to us. That we accept. We are also informed that according to the evidence of Mr. Dupree, there are certain vehicles which were not fitted with AVLs, and that is on record, but we also have his affidavit. That we also accepted. But subsequent to that information, which we accepted, we then said, okay, no, it's fine. Because the police were not working alone in this exercise. I then requested the movement records of the motor vehicles from the Eguruleni Metro, who were accompanying the police on the 31st, on the 30th, the day on which Mr. Sibiya was arrested. And I've told the court that on the 7th, I dropped an email to the state, to which I received no response. And Advocate Baloyi is saying, he is surprised that I am saying the court that they did not respond. Let me read the email, my lord, that I dropped to the state. It is dated the 7th of May 2025 at 12:35 p.m. The subject of that email is rare AVL record of the red VW Golf vehicle. This was basically a follow-up to the request on the red Golf vehicle, but that we have acknowledged. But this is the content of the email. It says, "Good morning, dear colleagues. Because the red Golf vehicle that was used by Sergeant Mohula during the arrest of accused number 1, Mr. Sibiya, was not fitted with an AVL, we would request that we be assisted with the AVL records of the vehicles which were used by the following state officials who were also present in his arrest. Number one, Jabulani Buthelezi. Number two, there's a police known, a metro police known as Bongani. Number three, there's Ngamani. Number four, there's Monareng. Number five, there's Mapumulo. Then I say, we reserve the right to request further information should the need arise. Kind regards. That is the email that I'm referring to, that up to today, I have not received any response from the state with regard to the development of this request. I'm not referring to the Red Golf or the Toyota Fortuna. We have passed that stage because they told us that the Red Golf does not have a record. That is just the misconception that I wanted to correct, madam.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you respond to the email?
It's unfortunate, my lord, with this tit for tat. I don't think that should happen between council, but anyway, if we have to go that route, on the 7th of May at 12:48, we wrote the following to Advocate Mnisi. Dear Advocate Mnisi, your request has been noted. We will establish what the position is and revert. And here, Advocate Mnisi is sitting
So you responded
and saying
to
that
an email?
yes, saying that
Because
we
it
didn't,
says you never responded.
we didn't respond, you know. But as I say, really, we don't want to go that route, my lord. I think if Advocate Mnisi requests postponement for information, then, you know, he should just say so, you know, instead of, and as I say, we don't really want to throw mud at each other. And regarding the use of the red vehicle, which Advocate Mnisi says he wants to correct, if one looks at the record of the 20th of November 2023, page 22 to 23, there after the arrest of accused number one, both Mokola and Buthelezi were using the Golf. But as I say, my lord, we really don't want to go down that route.
Yeah, Mr. Mnisi has forgotten the car which was driven by
Yes.
Jonathan. What's his surname? Jonathan? Brigadier Zininda. The Metro Cop.
I only
Jonathan.
know the name Jonathan, my lord.
And then there's another one. Wait.
It is his surname, my lord.
Which surname is
Jonathan.
that?
Jonathan is the surname.
Okay, what's his first name?
His actually colleague is just behind me. That's why I'm just looking behind you.
Okay, sir. What's his first name?
No, he doesn't remember his first name, but his surname
Is he
is
still
Jonathan.
alive, this chap?
Yes.
Can you phone? I'll give you time. Phone him, ask for his first name. Because there was allegations that he also beat up one of the accused at Moroka police station. And Jonathan is said to have been the leader when they were beating up accused number 2, I think, before he was taken to the kennel. Raputi. Is it Raputi?
Rapadi.
Rapadi. Yeah, before
Rapadi.
before he was taken into the office of Rapadi, or an enclosure, which is encased by meshed wire. He was beaten up, amongst others, by Jonathan. That is the evidence. And all those who were escorting him on the convoy, who took him from Villeria, I think,
Yes.
to go and
I think
make
Pretoria, somewhere there.
Pretoria, yeah, Villeria police station, whatever, to go and make a statement or a confession or whatever. After being beaten up, according to the evidence of the state, the defense evidence is that he never went into the office to sit and be consulted about writing the confession. He was just told to sign. If you don't want them to beat you up again, just sign. And then they were taken to Boxbeck. You recall that evidence?
As much as I was not here, my lord, I do know that he was taken to court on
Yeah.
that day to place him, and that's
So
when
we
the matter was
need,
not-
this court needs all those, the names of all those officers of the The squad, SWAT squad,
SWAT, yeah.
all right?
Yes, my lord.
The name of Jonathan is Constable Wendell Logan Jonathan.
Yeah, who's that? Jonathan?
It's Wendell, W-E-N-D-A-L,
Yeah.
Wendell, Logan, L-O-G-A-N. These are two names, Wendell, Logan, Jonathan.
Yeah, it is alleged that he also participated in the beating up of accused number 2 when they were in the fields there, where there are steel poles. You remember that evidence?
Yes.
I
And
remember it was
Jonathan is
put to me,
supposed to have
my
been
lord.
there. So the car he was using, we need its registration number and even its mileage number. Okay.
I understand, my lord. But in addition to that, my lord, perhaps to assist, it was also put to me
I know.
by the late Mr. Mgomezulu that I came in a white Golf
Yeah.
where I was seated and
Yeah.
White BMW.
a white BMW, sorry, my apologies, a white BMW that they allege I was using. Now, subsequent to that, my lord, I need just to add this, that I've also embarked on the same exercise of getting the record for the said car, the Golf, the BMW.
The Golf, okay. The
No,
BMW, the white one.
BMW. Yes, because at that time, in my response to the allegation that was put to me, I said it is not correct because that vehicle was not utilized by us at that stage.
Yeah.
Now, in addressing that exercise, we went to the fleet manager. We've obtained records that shows that in 2020, in June in particular, that vehicle was not in possession of the police. It was only allocated to the police in July. So I've obtained the registration document of the white BMW, the statement from the fleet manager of the police, and they print out the record that shows that in June 2020, when it's been alleged that I was sitting in that car was with the dealership with BMW, and then only the following month was it then bought by the South African police, and subsequently months later then given to the cold case unit.
Okay, so you've given the defense.
Yes, it's part of this
Because
disclosure.
also there's allegations that you sat on the boot
It is that
of the
vehicle.
vehicle.
Yes, it is
when
that
you-
vehicle.
When you were witnessing the beating up of the accused here.
Indeed, my lord.
Is that the same car?
It is the same car that was
Okay.
not in possession of the police in June, my lord. It was not even bought by the police. It was sitting at BMW as the vehicle belonging to BMW.
And then there's evidence that Rapadu, he was allegedly collected from Baragwanath Hospital. You remember that?
Yes,
He
yes.
said bye-bye to the wife and the daughter.
Yes.
And
yes.
then he went into the house, the car which was being driven by
Mukhani.
Mohan. Which car is that? We want
It's a
records.
Toyota Fortuner.
Yeah, we want
Yes.
records for that car.
Yes, but those
Which other
records,
trip are we leaving out?
those records are already on
Yeah, fine.
record. Yeah, but just to revisit one aspect, and as I say, my lord, we do so reluctantly. We don't want to cast suspicions.
No, just
But on the 7th of May, regarding this lack of the allegation that we did not acknowledge receipt, on 7 May 2025, 1:45 p.m., Advocate Nisi responds to our earlier email. He says, "Thank you, I appreciate your help." This after we've sent him an email on the same day, 17 May, 12:49, saying, "Dear Advocate Nisi, your request has been noted. We'll establish what the position is and revert." He then responds and say, "Thank you, I appreciate your help." And all counsel here were copied.
so you did respond, in other words, for that letter of the 7th of May. The email of the 7th of May, you responded.
Yes, yes,
And according to you, Advocate Nisi also
yes.
thanked you.
Yes, he said.
So there
"Thank
was
you,
three-way
I appreciate
communication
it."
between the
Yes,
two of you.
here it is.
Because he says, never happened.
kade esho futhi inkosi enkantolo ukuthi yacela-ke ukuthi mayelana nodaba lungu-ke uqukethe mayelana nodaba lwemoto noma ama-tracker wemoto zonke kade zisetshenziswa bezesiphoyisa futhi naliqembu leli wathi i-SWAT futhi iqembu le-Metropolis ukuthi wonkana ama-tracking record wakhona-ke abekhona-ke la ngaphambi kwenkantolo-ke futhi kunomlisa uthizini bakhuluma ngegama lakhe ukuthi uJonathan Wendell lokuthi kade akhona-ke ngesikhathi kade kuhanjwa nomsolo wesibili-ke bese bafika bama ngemoto esigangeni endaweni ethizini kade kwisiganga khona-ke bese kwashaya khona-ke umsolwa wesibili lapho-ke bese wathi khona kwafika umnumzana uBrigadier Gininda ngesikhathi bekafika lapho-ke bezahlala phezu kwebhuthi yemoto kade bathi i-BMW imoto khona-ke enombala omhlophe ngesikhathi bekushaya umsolwa wesibili lapho-ke yena kade akhona-ke futhi abhekile abukile nje kuphela bese ubaba umnumzana uBrigadier Gininda wakulungisa-ke lokho wathi yena-ke into ayenzile-ke ukuthi abhaleleke umnumzana obaphethe mhlawumbe umnumzana uphethe imoto lapha ngaphansi ukuze siphoyisa-ke acele ama-tracking record wemoto leyo-ke kepha okuqhamukile kuwukuthi ngenyanga kaJuni-ke ngomnyaka ka-2020-ke kade imoto leyo ingekho ngaphansi ukuze siphoyisa kepha kade ilapha ku-dealership kulaba abadayisa-ke imoto-ke athi yena-ke imoto lapho esiphoyiseni bayithola ngenyanga kaJulayi ngesikhathi kade beqala ukuthola-ke imoto wathi i-BMW emhlophe ngokumbala-ke bathi khona-ke umnumzana othize lapho-ke ngesikhathi benabamlanda-ke elapha-ke ebhara eSoweto-ke bese wavalelisa-ke kumndeni wakhe-ke lapho-ke ngesikhathi beqeda ukuvalisa kumndeni wakhe wagibela ngaphakathi emotweni-ke bese bahamba-ke ngesikhathi bebehamba lapho-ke kula kwashaya khona-ke umsolwa wesibili uma ngabe ekhuluma khona njalo-ke bese inkosi enkantolo yasho khona zathi iyacela-ke ukuthi wonkana ama-tracking record imoto zonke lezi kade zisetshenzisiwe-ke ngesikhathi kade kuboshwe nina-ke banumzana futhi ngesikhathi kade benihambisa ngaso-ke futhi nodaba lwelo confession la khona umsolwa wenza confession khona-ke lapho-ke eMorocco bese ngemuva kwalokho bese bamnikisa-ke elokuzane eFourspek uyacela ukuthi i-tracker lemoto le ibe khona ngaphandle kwenkantolo noma ukushicilela kwe-tracker kwemoto kube khona ngaphandle kwenkantolo futhi kuveza ukuthi imoto ingabe ihambe ibanga elingangani lapho-ke usho ukuthi i-distance futhi ne-mileage yemoto ukuthi ingabe yaqala kuphi ukuhamba yaze yagcina kuphi-ke ukuhamba futhi yasho khona njalo ubaba Advocate Baloyi ukuthi ngesikhathi kade umnumzana omnisi bekambhaleleke i-email ngelanga lange-7 zakaMeyi-ke ecela malana nodaba lolu uquketha udaba lwama-tracker lapho-ke athi yena-ke waphendula kuyena-ke ekuthizeni-ke bazozama ukuthi bamlekelele bese futhi u-Advocate Mnisi wabuya futhi ngemuva kwalokho-ke naye wabonga kwincwadi kade ibhaliwe-ke noma kuhlelo lwe-email kade lubhaliwe lubhalwe ngushushisi.
As it please the court, my lord, that could have been an oversight on my part. That was at a time when I was reading that 40,000 pages, my lord. But nonetheless, we also would be requesting the AVL record of the motor vehicle that was used by Constable Zungu when he drove from, I think he said he was driving from Binuni, from Tembisa to Joburg. Where they had no, it's not true. Oh, yeah, where he ultimately landed at the place where there was a party, according to him, on the 26th of October 2014. We would also appreciate to be furnished with the record of specifically said he was driving a Polo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Polo Vivo would also love to get that record as well. Thank you, madam.
Athi-ke futhi uyacela ukuthi atholeke futhi okushicilelwe phansi noma mhlawumbe irekhodi lemoto kade eshayelwa lapho uConstable Zungu-ke ngesikhathi ade bekaqhamuka eKhembisa ehamba esiya lapho-ke lokozane eFosloras la kade khona-ke umhlangano mhlawumbe kade khona-ke imbiyozo yomndeni noma mhlawumbe ukujabula komndeni-ke lapho-ke athi yena kade ashayela-ke imoto ekuyipolo Vivo uyacela ukuthi konke-ke lokwerekhodi kwemoto mhlawumbe kwe-tracker kwe-AVL kube khona-ke kwale moto kaZungu umnyaka ka-2014 ngelanga lange-26 zaka-October.
Sorry, who allegedly took accused number 2 to Mother B? The time is alleged that he's assaulted. There was that police station. You remember the Kenelo gave evidence here about the regulations.
Oh, so it's Swanepoel, I think.
Yeah, Swanepoel. You remember?
Yes.
He was the station commander of which police station?
I think Silverton.
Silverton.
Yes.
Right. At one stage, allegedly accused number 2 was at Silverton. Is that not so?
That is correct.
And then he was transported. Ultimately, ends up at Mother B.
Correct, yeah, but with regard to this allegation of assault, my lord, it was accused number 1 who made that allegation in court that he was assaulted by Silverton detectives, and that led now me instructing Sergeant Mokola to ask a statement from him,
And then he
which they
refused.
refused. Yes, and then subsequently was taken to Mother B prison from court.
Yeah, but which vehicle took him?
I think it should be Sergeant Mokola.
Yeah, we need the registration numbers of that vehicle,
All right.
which took him from Silverton to court and to Modapi.
Okay, my lord.
Bacala futhi ukuthi bekhona-ke irekhodi yemoto akade imikisa khona kumswalo wesibili lapho-ke iqhamuke esilwatheli kuwe ngesikhathi athina-ke selashaywa khona-ke umnumzana kokumsola uqala-ke lapho bese ngemuva kwalokho bese bamthatha kwamikisa-ke kejele lasemodabi.
Which other vehicles do you want to be disclosed? Mr. Ngumalo, even yourself, you must chip in into this discussion. Your client, where was he taken to allegedly? In which motor vehicle? After his arrest?
There was no transportation.
No transportation, are you sure?
No,
sir?
no. I think the most relevant one will be the one of Zungu.
Zungu.
Yes, the one that was raised by my colleague,
Right.
Mr. Ramsepel.
Yeah, Zungu's motor vehicle
VW
was
Polo.
supposed to have been in Tembisa court, knocked off, and then went to Carlton Center,
Yes,
and thereafter came to Basotho Hostel,
yes,
and thereafter allegedly gave accused number one a lift to drop him not far from the Basotho Hostel.
I know the evidence.
Okay,
And finally, my lord, also, I think it was on the 22nd of June 2020, whereby from Tabari, I'm not sure the same vehicles were used from the magistrate's court
Sorry, my
and
lord.
accused number two.
There is a hand from accused number
no, let him finish first.
Yeah, and then accused number two was then taken to Dr. Tlokwe for his oral examination.
Yeah, he was taken by Mokhani, I don't know, is it Mokhani?
Yes, indeed. I think that request has already been made.
Yeah,
earlier on.
because
Madam, if I may approach.
Sorry, my lord,
Yeah,
may I
but-
approach Mr. Nto, the accused number
yeah,
five?
yeah,
Thank
please
you.
do.
Thank you, Madam.
Brigadier Ganila, the evidence was that you instructed, is it Sergeant Buthelezi and Munaring to take, is it accused number one for a confession to Mboto?
Yes, it was specifically Sergeant Munaring.
Munaring.
From Ereton to Colonel Mboto in Deep.
What vehicle did they use?
I'm not sure, but it was a Metropolis vehicle.
Yeah, that's it, we need that vehicle.
Okay, I'll find out, my lord.
Is he still alive, Munaring?
Yes, he is, my lord.
Please, just ascertain which vehicle he used
Yes.
so that we get the registration numbers.
Okay, my lord, I'll do so.
Maybe also check, you can check with the Deep Blue Police Station whether in fact on the same date that vehicle was registered as having entered the police station precinct.
What I've done, my lord, in preparation of the trial within trial, insofar as Diepkloof Police Station is concerned, I could only find the OB entry that was made by Colonel Mboto, confirming that he used one of the offices with accused number one when he took the confession. There was no registration, there was no documentation of cars, but only the presence of accused one and Colonel Mboto and the specific office that they've used. So
Yeah, but-
that entry was,
But Munaring used a vehicle.
yes, he used the vehicle, my lord.
So can we also have the particulars?
I will find out, my lord, yes.
What else do we need in the mode of transport?
I think if any other trips crop up, my colleagues are at liberty to send to send us that request. Now, the next question, my lord, is what happened to the proceedings?
Yeah,
Obviously, it's going to take time to gather all this
yeah,
information.
quite.
There's one witness, my lord, that it's going to be a very short witness that we intend to call from the LPC. If it's fine with everyone, we can then next continue with this witness next week.
That witness.
Yes.
Yeah, fine. Is he a police officer?
No. He's an official administrator. He's a legal officer at LPC.
At?
LPC, the
Oh, LPC.
Legal Practice Council, yes.
So you want us to postpone this evidence to next week?
Yes.
Why?
On Monday. We can continue on Monday.
Is that so? Okay, fine, if you want to. Yes. Because it's just going to be short, this evidence.
Yes.
I imagine it should be.
Yes.
You won't tell us where he was born,
No, it's just...
whether they fed him with Malta Bella.
No. It's just regarding the correspondence that's already on record from the LPC.
Is he a practicing attorney?
Yes, he's an admitted attorney.
Practices? Just find out, because
Yeah.
we shouldn't waste people's time if the evidence is not contentious.
Well, we did try to get that admission, but
The admission wasn't made.
yes, so
Okay.
we will call him on.
Okay, fine. No, call him so that I can request him to come again. Is he here?
Yes, he'll be here on Monday. We
Oh,
didn't
he will be on Monday. He's not here.
No, we didn't we thought we were going to be busy for the whole day.
Oh, okay, fine. No,
and
no
he's-
problem then.
He's
No
on
problem.
leave this week, my lord.
All right, okay, fine. So you're suggesting we postpone at this stage?
Yes, until Monday.
Okay. Yes,
As
sir.
it please the court, my lords.
Ah.
In the meantime, on behalf of accused number 1, we are going to request to have the following witnesses recalled. Constable Zungu and Buthelezi. We still weighing our options as to whether or not there would still be other witnesses that we would make a request that they be recalled. Ever the court will be informed in due course about the identity of those witnesses, if any. That is, but for now we're certain about Constable Zungu and Mr. Buthelezi, who is in the employ, I don't know if he's still there, part of the Ekurhuleni Metro. Thank you.
Kade asho khona njalo kumshishisi ukuthi khona kufakazi ongathanda ukuthi bambize uqhamuka lapho ngaphansi kwe-LPC la kade abameli bavuma khona ke ngaphambi ukuthi baqale babe abameli. Futhi yasho khona njalo ukuthi umnumzana kumele mina ke umnumzana umlisi ukuthi uyacela ukuthi inkosi enkantolo ke futhi ibize abanye ofakazi abalandelayo ababili ke uConstable Zungu futhi nomnumzana kuButhelezi osebenza ngaphansi kwesiphoyisa noma ngaphansi kwe-Ekurhuleni Metro ke lapho ke futhi yasho khona ukuthi bakhona ke abanye abazohlala phansi bathikile udaba lwabo ekuthizeni ngabe bazobabiza futhi noma ngeke bababize futhi.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi?
Well, regarding this latter request, we don't know what is the basis for requesting that these witnesses be recalled. We suppose that a proper basis will be made for the request to recall those witnesses.
What does the law say? You can address me on Monday.
Yes.
When are you supposed to recall a witness?
Yes.
And under what circumstances?
Yes.
Can you get me authorities on that? Okay,
Yes, please.
all of you. Everybody must get me authorities. Because in my view, it's not just an application of saying, I want Rata Mokhotleng to be recalled.
Iyacela ke kusenkantolo ukuthi kade ashushushisa ukuthi manje labo fakazi kunothi baphinde babize futhi okwesibili babuye bazofana ngofakazi babo kushuthi babiza ngaphansi komthetho omuningi loyo ke manje uyasho phela ukuthi ecela ukuthi bonkana ithimba labashushisi futhi ithimba labameli ekuthizeni bahambe bafunde mayelana nodaba lwezomthetho la kuvuma khona-ke la bavumelekile khona-ke ekuthizeni babize futhi ofakazi ekuthizeni beze futhi ngaphambi kwinkosi enkantolo bese bazophana ngofakazi babo manje yasho khona njalo inkosi enkantolo ukuthi abameli benu futhi nehlangothi lethimba labashushisi kwamele ukuthi babuye bamtshele mayelana nodaba lwezomthetho ngomsombuluko wale sonto elizayo.
Yeah, okay. So we come back on Monday.
Mase ke ngomsombuluko
Right, Monday.